Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Amrutanubhava, chapter 7, and we are at the conclusion of chapter 7. And last time we saw the various means of knowledge. Do those means apply in determining the truth, the reality, and what were they? They were the Pratyaksha Praman, the Anuman Praman. Pratyaksha is direct perception, Anuman is inferential authority, Shabda Praman, the word is the authority, taken as the authority, Upamana Praman, it is by comparison, we compare authority of knowledge by comparison. And then Karya Karana Arthapatti Praman, when we take the cause and effect as the authority to prove that the reality is there. And the last one, Anupalabdhi Praman, knowledge that is derived from the absence. And these 6 authorities were null and void, disfunct when it comes to the reality. Because reality is not a result of some conclusion, neither of inference, nor of direct perception, nor of cause and effect, nor of any one of these. Truth, absolute reality, the self, is self-established. It's self-illuminating. It's self-knowing. It's self-existing. It doesn't need any praman in order to establish itself. The pramanas are okay. We can use these 6 praman to prove the existence of individuality. Individual consciousness with reference to this body, we can make it up. We can come to that. But as regards absolute reality, we cannot. These 6 types of pramanas, we are on page 492. These 6 types of pramanas are therefore not useful as regards the pure self is concerned, but they are useful when one is referring to the conditioned self, Avrutta Paramatma Tattva. And which is the conditioned self? Tell me, I am asking, which is the conditioned self? What is the
Our individual self.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything more to be added?
Our mind, Swamiji?
No. Self we are talking about. Where mind coming in between? Self.
Identified with the body, Swamiji, how?
Yeah, that she already said. So conditioning is always at 2 levels, individual and total.
Yeah.
So there is individual self and there is total self. Both are conditioned selves. In individual self, the conditionings are overpowering the consciousness. In total self, the conditionings are unable to overpower the consciousness. That's all the difference.
Yep.
So be very clear about these things. When I ask these questions, it's only to check where is everyone. So immediately the mind should go there. That conditioned, yeah, Vyashti, Samashti, individuality, totality. This conditioned consciousness becomes the object of or subject of discussion by these six means of knowledge as explained below. Now, the same six pramanas, authorities, are being used in order to determine the conditioned self or to discuss the conditions, as Swamiji says. First one, again, Pratyaksha Praman. It was what? Authority of direct perception. And every object has five aspects: Asti, Bhati, Priya, Nama, Rupa. This is how it is explained. And in these five, the first three, Asti, Bhati, Priya, is nothing but Asti is equal to Sat, Bhati is equal to Chit, Priya is equal to Anand. Then what is Nama Roop? Nama Roop is this Jagat, is this world. So, Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Namam, Rupam, this comes in Drigdrushya Vivek. The first three are Paramatma Tattva and the last two are the Jagat. If the name and the form are dropped, what remains is Paramatma. Bhagavan Krishna uses this technique of this pramana when he declares, I am the taste in the water, the light in the sun, and the moon, the fragrance in the earth, the brightness in the fire, and sound in the space. So today's meditation, what did we do? Similar. Where we told that no sadhana is required in order to be the consciousness that you are. See? That position where no sadhana is required, that is meditation. That is absolute reality. That is your natural state. Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Jnaneshwar Maharaj here, they are established in that state. Then what about all the sadhanas? Asana, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyaya, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. What about all those methods? Withdraw from the world, discriminate the truth and the untruth, shatka sampatti, mumukshutvam. What about all these sadhanas? What about Kundalini sadhana? What about Ashtanga sadhana? What about Kriya Yoga sadhana? What about contemplation? What about japa as given in this text? What about all those things? All those things are with reference to the relativity, with reference to the mind. Mind is so busy, it's looking for its own survival. Because we have taken ourselves to be the mind. We give it attention, we give it value. And we are not able to discard the mind and be ourselves. This is our situation at this moment. So if we can't discard the mind, we have to reform the mind. We have to re-educate the mind. Now, whatever the mind has been programmed with from birth till today, you cannot change that. You cannot change it. If you think you can remove all the thoughts from your mind, all the memories from the mind, you cannot. It's a foolhardy pursuit. You cannot remove any lurking subconscious impressions, desires, memories, you cannot remove them. Then what can you do them? What can you do with them? You can grow out of them. How do you grow out of them? You create new memories, new convictions, which are stronger and more expansive, more divine, more fulfilling than those which are already there. What are the memories that you have about the world? What are the new memories that you want to create or convictions you want to create about that which is infinite in nature? And in that process, the old ones become dysfunctional. That is the technique. Here, Bhagavan is saying, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying that if the name and form are dropped, and this is the process, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. It's not about taking the bag in your hand and keep going on Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, mechanically going on and on and on and on and on and on for years nothing wrong with it. At least one person is less of a problem in the society. But if we are not clear about the goal, then that exercise will never reach its logical conclusion. Logical conclusion is loud chanting of the mantra must become subtle chanting of the mantra and lead to meditation, lead to create. And what is this meditation? By chanting them. So all the names, your mind only thinks about names and forms all the time. Jagat is that. So in that you have replaced all the thoughts with one mantra. And with that one mantra, you're creating a pathway through your mind so that you become available to yourself as the mantra becomes quiet. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is ever clear about his natural state. He is ever abiding in the natural state. He has never deviated from the natural state. He has never fallen down from his natural state. And he knows it. We have also never fallen down from our natural state, but we don't know it. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. And therefore, because he is established in his natural state as the natural state all the time, he is able to play in this relativity. Sometimes he takes the position of the friend of Arjuna, sometimes he takes the position of the Ishvara, sometimes he takes the position of Hiranyagarbha, sometimes he takes the position of Virat Purush, sometimes he takes the position, I am the taste in the water, the light in the sun and the moon and fragrance of in the earth and the brightness in the fire and sound in the space. Sometimes he takes this position. He goes to the core of everything. He knows that he is everything. See? So when we are looking at the world of name and form, we cannot, when the eyes are looking at the form, the fire, for example, or the water, then will you say, I am the consciousness? Yes, one thing you can do, I am the witness of everything. That is true. But witness is only at the individual level. Witness is, I am not the body, I am not the breath, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am the witnessing consciousness. I am watching. Everything is coming and going, I am only watching. But how do you translate that if this consciousness is all that there is, then how do you communicate? If you are the entirety, then how do you communicate it to another person, just like Krishna communicated to Arjuna? See? This is the language. I am the essence of everything. In the water, the essence of water is taste. Essence of space is the quality of the space is sound. And then the light of the sun and the moon. So what is, he's the brilliance in the sun, and he's the coolness of the moon. Moon can never be hot and sun can never be cool. So that is its attribute. That is its quality. So whatever is the dharma of any thing in this relative world, in this phenomenal world. So what is the dharma of water? Taste. Dharma of space, sound. Dharma of sun, brightness and heat. What is the dharma of moon? Coolness. And in this way, Bhagavan is saying, I am the essence of every name and form that is there. Understand it in this manner. This is Pratyaksha Praman. So, are we able to see in dream? After coming out of dream, we can say that I am the essence of every being in the dream creation. But in the waking, are we able to see that I am the light in the sun, I am the coolness of the moon, I am the all these examples? Are we able to see that? Have we expanded? Are we sitting in the core of who we are? Because this spontaneous knowledge is only possible from that core. It cannot come by reading the books. It cannot come by studying the scriptures. The knowledge is inside out, not outside in. Then what are we doing? Wasting time. We are studying only because we don't want to be who we are. Raman Maharishi did not require any book in order to be who he was. Ammachi did not read any book. She was uneducated. We are delaying our realization. We are delaying our avoidance. So when we are direct perception as regards the conditioned consciousness, recognize this consciousness that I am alone is the essence of every name and form that is coming. Why only look outside? Everything that is outside is only appearing as a thought. And can that thought appear without you? You are seeing the thought coming and going. Pratyaksha Praman. Jagat doesn't mean only the outside. Jagat again. How many ways does the Jagat appear? I am asking you. How many ways does the Jagat appear? Jagat means the world. Swamiji, better you don't ask the questions. You ask the question, you give the answer.
Five, Swamiji.
One by one?
Five.
What five?
All the earth, water.
No, those are five elements. I'm saying what are the ways in which the world or the Jagat appears?
Nama Rupa.
Okay, that's one. What else? Nagaraj? One way is Nama Rupa. What other way?
Infinite appearance, Swamiji, like it appears in various phases, like manifest and unmanifest.
Okay, Jagat appears as, so this brainstorm. The Jagat appears as manifest and unmanifest. Jagat appears as Nama Roop. What else?
As self.
Hey?
As self, Swamiji.
Forget it. You haven't experienced it yet. And yet you are experiencing it all the time.
As thoughts in the mind.
Jagat appears as thoughts in the mind, yes.
Dukkha, sukha, like that.
No. Jagat appear. Where is your Jagat? You are looking outside to work out. Look within. What is your experience of Jagat? Hundreds of times we have said that.
Waking, dreaming.
Correct. Your one Jagat is equal to waking plus dream plus deep sleep. How else you can put it? The Jagat appears as Tamasic Jagat, Rajasic Jagat, and Sattvic Jagat. So all these are various options and they should be on our fingertips. The moment we say Jagat, it's not only what we are seeing, it's also inside. You are understanding what we are saying?
Even in three forms, Swamiji.
I?
Knower, knowledge, and the knowing.
Yeah, but all that is thoughts only, no? So, yeah, that is all thoughts. You are dissecting the thought. That is part of that comes under the thoughts only. That when you say Jagat is only thought, someone said that. So that is covered in it. So all this what we have just now said, except through effects, symptoms we see Sattva, Rajas, Tamas aspect of the Jagat, but all this is Pratyaksha Praman. All this is seen by you, experienced by you, known by you. Deleting the non-essential of Nama and Roop, the essential aspect of Asti, Bhati and Priya are established with reference to conditioned consciousness. Only conditioned, not the total or infinite. Or total also. But we can't work out the total because total is the material as well as the efficient cause. So there, this will not work. These pramanas will not work there. These pramanas work only where there is duality. See, this particular one. So what do we have to do? And as I was telling you before, through Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para or any other methodology or technique, it is to delete the non-essential. What is the non-essential? Nama Roop is the non-essential. And Nama Roop again, Tamasic is outside, subtle, the gross is outside, subtle is inside, which is called dream. So both have to be given up. And yet you can put it in another way, that the tamasic is the absence of is the deep sleep state, rajasic is the dream state, and sattvic is the waking state. Whatever works for you. But important thing is, are we deleting the nama roop from our mind? If that is not happening, even while listening, then we are going the wrong way. In meditation, we are only thinking, and not being, then we are going the wrong way. Deleting the non-essential of Nama Roop. So what is non-essential? Again, another definition of non-essential is that which is changing, that which is impermanent, that which is finite, that which appears but actually is not there, is the non-essential. Essential, Asti Bhati Priya, is the constant principle. Nama Roop is the non-constant principle. What are we considering ourselves? We are considering ourselves to be constant with reference to the non-constant, which is the body, breath, mind, intellect, and the subsequent uh, uh, things and beings outside. See how wrongly we are conducting ourselves. So we have taken ourselves to be the body. I cannot live without the body. I cannot live without the breath. I think I'm losing my mind. Better lose your mind. So essentially, we are the constant one, Asti Bhati Priya, the Satchidanand Swarup, which is superimposed on the non-constant, non-essential, changing, which is the Panchakoshas. And we consider that with this is the Ravan Sthiti or the Hiranyakashipa Sthiti. They had all the knowledge and they wanted to be immortal with the non-constant. They wanted to be immortal with the non-essential. They wanted to be immortal with the name and form. You are knocking on the wrong door. Not possible. Now then, once this is clicked, once this has, you are convinced of this, what we have just said, now automatically such a person will seek what is the way to, I want to be myself, I am meditating on myself, I know I am the continuous one, I know I am the infinite one, I know I am the Satchidananda Swarup. Then why am I not able to be that? What is the obstacle? Nama Roop is the obstacle. Now find ways naturally, either today's meditation, either you watch the Nama Roop. This is exactly what Sri Ram.
Calendar, Easter Monday.
Yes, resurrection happening today. So we are also in the topic of resurrection only. So yesterday Ramchandraji also told Lakshmana the same thing. Everything is ephemeral. Don't get lost in all this. Don't be attached to the changing. You are the core of everything. You are the center of everything. And that center is unchanging. It's the constant. Okay, I am that constant, then why am I not able to be that? Oh, find out what is the reason. Reason is name and form. Now find ways. First way is don't do anything, just be, but you are not able to not do anything. Just be means just be the witness of whatever is going on inside or outside. Very quickly it will undo itself because mind finds tranquility and peace only when it is empty. Only when it is empty. You have a desire. When that desire is fulfilled, the desire is in the mind. When the desire is fulfilled, the mind becomes empty because there is no desire for a few seconds. When there is no desire because it thinks that it has got what it wanted, in that desireless mind, the joy emanates. It is of the nature of joy only. Mind is nothing but consciousness. But that joy was covered by the itch of desire. So find a way for yourself. First, witness. Can't witness, do some sadhana, do some exercise, take some technique. Which technique? Let it come to you. Don't forcefully start something. And the best way is to ask some Guru Maharaj. And let them, by their blessings, you begin your journey. Begin this journey of what? Begin the journey of removing the non-essential. And what is this process? Your attention is on the constant, but the exercise that you are performing, the sadhana that you are performing, the technique you are implementing is for removal of the non-essential. Your attention is on the constant principle, the conscious principle, and the sadhana that is being done to remove the non-constant, the nama roop. And for this, you don't need any special, you can do it while I'm talking, it can be practiced. While you are listening, it can be practiced. While you are walking on the street, it can be practiced. Be the center. Watch the legs moving, watch the hands moving, watch the eyes blinking, watch the breath going in and out. Heightened awareness. Not awareness, I use those examples, but you are not aware of the body, you are being aware of yourself, and the spillover is you become aware of whatever the equipment is doing. Let it do. This is what Ramchandraji told Lakshman yesterday. Established in the center, watch all activities happening. Center never performs any activity. Activities are only performed by the equipment, by the Panchakoshas. You are not performing the activity. Activity means movement. And the more we come, I can't use any words here, the more we be the center, to that extent, this realization, what Krishna is having, that I am the taste in the water, I am the brilliance of the sun, I am the coolness of the moon, this will become your natural state and direct experience. How much is there? You can keep talking. Understood? Pratyaksha Praman we are talking about. We are trying to, through Pratyaksha Praman, we are coming to establish that we are the core of all experiences. What are the experiences? Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, etc., etc., etc. Thinking, ideating. You are the core. Without you, these experiences are not possible. A recognition of that is Pratyaksha Praman. Pratyaksha Praman is not the sun is, the moon is, this is the direct perception. No, this is not the direct perception. The eyes are perceiving the moon, but can the dead man also has the eyes? Can he see the moon or the sun? Then what is the difference between you and a dead person? Because the dead person is not able to see the world and you are able to see the world. Find that principle. Be that principle. Seek that principle. See? Then we have understood Pratyaksha Praman. Next, second one, Anumana Pramana, inferential knowledge. What was inferential knowledge? We gave example last week. If we see a smoke somewhere, there must be fire. This was inference. We have not seen the fire. We have not lighted the fire. But because where there is smoke, there must be fire. Smoke cannot come without fire. And therefore we infer. So is the consciousness a result of inference? Because there is life, so there must be the Atma. Because my eyes are able to see, so there must be Atma. Because I am awake, therefore there is Atma. You have not seen the Atma. Can Atma be perceived? Anyway, let's see how he explains. Inferential knowledge, Paramatma, is the primordial cause of the sprout of the world. Jagat Ankura Hetave, it comes in Sadachar. We can infer Paramatma's presence from his manifestation, the world. We have never seen the mind. Have you anyone seen the mind? You have seen thoughts, but have you seen the mind? But you infer because there are thoughts, there must be mind. Because there is dream, where is dream coming from? Where is dream existing? Where is the dream dissolving back into? Oh, it came from the mind, existed in the mind, it merged back into the mind. But you have never seen the mind. You know you have had experience of dream. And you infer. What? That it was all happening in the mind. But you have never seen the mind. But you infer that it is in the mind. Exactly the same way. And mind, again, we come to this conclusion. This you must not forget. Mind is nothing but consciousness in essence. Consciousness with thoughts is called mind. Mind without thoughts is consciousness. Now bring this same understanding to the waking. Where is this whole world? No, where is this whole world? Swamiji, I am in the world. Where about what you are asking? Where is this whole world? No. If we want to transform, if we want to come to be the constant one, then our rules of engagement have to change. So instead of saying that I was born in this world, I am a product of this world, I was not there in this world, now I am there in this world, and afterwards I will not be in this world. This dialogue must be replaced by this thought. What is that? That the cause of the whole creation is the self alone, the primordial cause. The primordial cause of the sprout of the world, Jagat Ankura Hetave, we can infer Paramatma's presence from his manifestation, the world. So here he is talking about the totality. He is not talking about individuality here. When he says that we can infer Paramatma's presence from his manifestation. Who created this world? What is without whom this world will not continue to exist? You can apply it on yourself or take it to the total level. What is that? If taken out from the sun will no longer be sun. What is that which taken out of this body, which is absent from this body will cease to be alive? What is that? You say it is Atma, the conscious principle. What is that? Which is the here the word is primordial cause, the first cause of the total creation. Just like this body became alive only when consciousness started expressing through it. And this body is called dead when consciousness is no longer able to support the consciousness. What is that consciousness? Is there a cause behind the total creation? Is there a cause behind the total names and forms? Just like when I am alive, I experience the world. If I'm dead, I don't experience the world. Who is experiencing the total world? Who is experiencing the total world? Who is the cause of the total world? Without whom the world, the phenomenal world, cannot come into existence. Understand here one thing very clearly. Atma and Paramatma are one. Whether you apply it to yourself or whether you apply it to total the Paramatma, it's one and the same thing. So what is that principle? Instead of living in fear that this whole world was before me, whole world will be after me, I don't know why I was born, I don't know what my purpose is, I want to make an impact on this world. All this is BS. Be yourself. Come to the core, come to the substratum, come to the center. And just as by waking up we can see that mind was the center, and out of the mind the dream creation got created, maintained, and it merged back into the mind. If that is true and that is your conclusion, if it was not before, now it is, same thing is happening in the waking also. Maybe thinking like this, you will wake up. Important thing is waking up. Not remaining in the same rigmarole of I'm tired, I want to go to sleep, tomorrow I have to got a big day, I don't know how will, if I don't lose the job, I hope Bhagwan Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Kapil Siti Hu Loko Ujagar, please keep my job. Why? Oh, then how will I survive? How will I take care of my family? And lose the plot. Then what happens? Then whatever job you have, that also goes away because you are dysfunctional. Because you are already imagining what will happen, not living in the present. See? Living in the present means being the presence. That is living in the present. Untouched, recognizing, rather than giving validity to the world and being susceptible to the world and getting entangled in the world and feeling that without the world I have got no existence, the whole equation must turn 180 degrees. The world is dependent on the conscious principle. The world begins from the center. It is established in the center. It merges back into the center. And what is the nature of center? Infinite. So the wave begins from the center called water. It exists in water and it merges back into the water. And what is the nature of water? Infinite. Apply it on yourself. too much working out is not required. Shift in understanding. Shift in your disposition. Right now you're sitting in the world as a part of the world, succumbing to the world. You sit in consciousness, allow the body to sit in the world, which is a part of the world, and keep watching and come to these conclusions. Then alone you can come to these conclusions. Because Atma is not something which can objectively come to know. The conscious principle that I am, have I seen the mind? No, I only infer. Have I seen the thoughts? I have never seen the thoughts. See? You've seen words. You've seen a form. The word is Ram, R-A-M. The moment Ram name comes, what a child asks, what is Ram, what is Ram, what is Ram? You show him a photograph. Then he associates, this is Ram. Or vice versa. Name and form always go together. But have you seen the mind? Where the names and forms are coming and going? But you know it is there. You say you have, in the waking you have a mind. Oh, in the dream there was a mind. In the deep sleep there was no mind. You talk like that. You talk about yourself as if my mind is very sharp today, my mind is very wakeful today, mind is very dull today. Mind is depressed today, mind is very excited today. So you know there is something called mind, but you have never seen it. Similarly, you know you are the consciousness, but you're searching for consciousness as an objective experience. No, you are the consciousness. You are the source from where the whole world comes out, stays, and merges back. Inference. This is called Anumana Praman. From the world, we are inferring that there is someone who is experiencing the world. Somewhere it is coming out from, somewhere it is staying, somewhere it is going back. And where it is coming, staying, and going back is the consciousness, and that consciousness I am inferring. That X factor, that principle from where it comes and goes, even though I have never seen it, this is the first step, that there must be some place from where it is coming. That place is that consciousness. Next stage is that consciousness I am. Shabda Praman, it is only because of this Pramana that one is able to communicate about the Paramatma, that Mahavakya like Tattvamasi, etc. get transmitted, and the oneness of the relative and absolute is established. Only because of this Shabda Praman, the teacher is able to teach, communicate that which is incommunicable. The student is able to understand, take in the data, whatever we were just explaining for last half an hour, it is all communication and you are listening to it. Whatever understanding is happening in the mind is because of the words. And the same words are telling you that you are the center, you are the source of the whole creation, you are the constant. These are all words. That you are Satchidanand Swarup, that there is nothing called individual consciousness and total consciousness. There is only one consciousness. Individual and total are one and same at the same time. The individual wave and the total ocean are one and the same at any given moment. Similarly, you, the individual, and Ishvara, the total, are one and the same at any given moment. This is communicated only through words, so that the student or the seeker, the disciple, accepts, because he is not ready to dive into himself. He has so many doubts. He has so many wrong conclusions in life. Why? Because he is identified with the body, he has not assessed the reality of the world independently. All Upanishads begin as a teacher disciple discussion, but every disciple who has come in the Upanishads, he has already worked out that it is not worthy to pursue the world. He has complete vairagya towards the world. Then he has approached the teacher. See? And after, because he has no axe to grind in the world, he has understood that nothing can be achieved in this world by pursuing the world. Then what is the source? What is the core? Then he comes to the teacher gives him the Upanishad. And in that Upanishad, all the teacher is saying, just as we are seeing in Kathopanishad, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat krita kritat. The student is asking, I don't know. I know that the world has got no answers. I know the world has got no answers. Pursuing the world is not going to give me answers. Within that world is Yamraj also. Within that world is the teacher also. So the student goes within that world, discarding, giving zero value to the rest of the world. He goes to some entity called teacher, who is also a part of that world, but who has transcended the world while being in the world. See? And makes himself available to such a teacher. And then the teacher, what will he teach? How will he teach? He uses the words. He uses the words not only to reaffirm the dispassion that the student is feeling towards the world, but also to help the student confirm that he is the consciousness. See? And all this dialogue is required only because the student is not ready to be who he is in the first place. Very few teachers masters are there who don't require a teacher. Not that I know of any. Every master, living master, has had a teacher who lit the spark and led the student to burn. That's his job, to light the spark. Therefore, our Kaivalya Upanishad says, Samit Pani Shrotre Brahmanishtam. Therefore, whenever a student comes to the teacher, he comes with dry sticks on his head. Only dry sticks can catch fire. If it is moist, moist means that your desires and attachments to the world are still there. Dry means complete vairagya. In such a person who has complete vairagya, equal to dry stick twigs, one spark is enough for the fire to rage. Are we? So these words of communication are to bring that about, are to bring the spark. The teacher cannot make the student realize. Because in the end, the student has to come to this realization that there is nothing called realization. It was always him, always the self. It was always the pure consciousness. There was never a time that I was not pure consciousness. I was only imagining in my head that I am the individual and I have to realize that I am the infinite. But I am always the infinite. Shabda Praman. All scriptures, Vedas, Puranas, Ramayana, etc., all these are Shabda. The words of the teachers, masters, all Shabda Praman. It can kindle, provided we are available. I cannot just sit here quietly, or any teacher sit quietly and let me see what he can do. Majority people, if you are sitting quietly, for some time they will sit and then they'll walk away. Hey, I did not get anything here. He did not speak even a single word. He did not give any direction. He did not communicate. Why? In that silence, they become available to their own mind and they cannot handle their own mind. Speaking is required by the teacher only because the student can forget his mind and contemplate on the words of the teacher. Very few students are there. Maunam vyakhyat prakatita parabrahma tattvam yuvanam. Very few students, rare students, that even the silence of the teacher can be a communication for them, but rare ones. Shabda Praman. Through the words that Atma and Paramatma are one, Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. These are words. But what they indicate, if that is not recognized as the self, then it's only hearsay. So through this entire analysis, what we are doing what Jnaneshwar Maharaj is doing in this Amrutanubhava, what we are doing in Sarva Dharman Parityajya, what we are doing in Kathopanishad, we are only establishing that consciousness is always one. If you think you are an individual, you are thinking you are individual only with reference to body. So from the body we come to the individual consciousness. Then you are taught that individual consciousness and infinite consciousness are one and the same. First the wave comes to the water within the wave, and then it is told that this water within the wave itself is the infinite waters. How long is this communication required? Till the wave does not give up its attachment with the name and form. Till the wave is not re-educated in realizing that the water is essentially infinite, it can never be individual. Similarly, how long the communication of or a requirement of a teacher is there? As long as you think you are an individual, till then a teacher is required. There is nothing called individual consciousness. There is only consciousness is only one. In that one consciousness, individual consciousnesses and total consciousness are imagined. If you can digest that, good, otherwise suffer. How will this be communicated if there are no words? All words are nothing but thoughts in your mind. And you think thinking is knowledge. No, thinking is not knowledge. You are of the nature of knowledge. You are superimposing your consciousness on the thoughts and thinking that this understanding, this conviction, all this is equal to knowledge. Physics plus chemistry plus scriptures plus Ramayana plus Vedas plus Upanishads plus etc. 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 is equal to knowledge. Relatively speaking, yes. Essentially speaking, no. You are of the nature of knowledge. Whether there are words, shabda or no shabda, it doesn't make a difference. But yes, till you come to that point, words are required in order to give you the direction, give the direction to the mind so that you can contemplate in the right direction. You can come to the right conclusions about yourself. Till then, words are required. Once you are convinced, then words don't need to be there. Just like once you are in sleep, no words are required, no thoughts are required, no body identification is required, no idea whether I'm breathing or not breathing is required, no idea whether sun is there or moon is there, storm is there, earthquake is there. Whatever is happening in this creation, you are oblivious to it. Are they there? Maybe for the other people. Other people are seeing your body. But are you seeing your body? No. Are you experiencing your body? No. Are you breathing in your body? No. It's all phenomenal. All the phenomena has gone out of your mind. Only then sleep has begun. Exactly the same way. The Shabda Praman helps us. It acts as an impetus, gives the direction, because our mind only thinks thoughts, so it gives the mind a direction to contemplate on such ideas which have no conclusion. And what is that? You and infinite are the one, Tattvamasi. I, who am an individual consciousness, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the infinite consciousness. Wow! Gone. But we don't even come to the level of wow. Acha, I understood. What did you understand? Nothing. It is not a thing of understanding. Because we are still in our intellect trying to work out Aham Brahmasmi, individual consciousness equal to infinite consciousness. Yeah, I understood that. It is not a thing to be understood. You have to be that. But the words can trigger. Just like a mother is keeping the child on her lap, Krishna, 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 that sound is a trigger for the child to go to sleep. Mama is a word, is a trigger for the mother to come out of you. OG is a word for the wife to come out of you or the husband to come out of you. Similarly, these words which come out of a teacher, they are there to bring out the divinity out of us, out of divinity out, not us or anything. Bring out the divinity, bring out the union, bring out the totality of the consciousness, and be that. है ना मजेदार थॉट. दिस इज कॉन्टम्पलेशन. अभी कहाँ हम अपना हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे लगे हुए हैं विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग what we are searching, where we want to be, what are we. Nothing. We only ram 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 karo. I'm not saying don't do it. Shabda Praman. So we have seen Pratyaksha Praman, we have seen Anuman Praman, inferential knowledge, and now we have seen Shabda Praman. As Raman Maharishi says in Upadeshsar, the difference between Jiva and Ishvara is because of their conditioning, their Vesha. The Jiva's Vesha, Vesha is clothes. Jiva's Vesha are the limitations. His clothes are the limitations, and the Jiva's clothes is Parokshatva, that is otherness. When these two conditionings are rejected, what are the Jiva's conditioning? That Jiva's Vesha are the limitations. What are the limitations? I'm only this body. I only have 5 senses. I was born. I will die. Without breath, I have got no existence. I am a thinking person. I am a waker, dreamer, sleeper. All these are limitations. The world was there before I was born. The world will be there after I'm gone. I am not good enough. I have committed so many sins. I have so many regrets. Till I don't solve them, till then realization is not possible. It is very difficult to merge the individual consciousness into infinite consciousness. Or Baba, I tried everything, pranayama, this, that, but everything is so difficult. Self-inflicted limitations. Around Maharaj is saying, give up all these limitations. You are superimposing the limitation of the equipment on the consciousness that you are. Stop it. Stop the sabotage. This is suicide. Every moment you are committing suicide. By accepting that you are an individual. Meaning, I am the body, I am the breath, I am the mind, I am the intellect, I am the past, I am the future, I am the memories, and the list goes on. This is suicide every moment. Aren't you tired of it? Uttishta jagrata prapya varan nibodhata. Awake to yourself. And parokshatva. Parokshatva is with reference to Ishvara. What is that parokshatva? The jiva, the individual things. Ishvara is far away, above the clouds. He is separate from me. I must have an objective experience of the Ishvara. Then my life is made. Is the ocean away, separate from the wave? Can it ever be separate from the wave? When you are touching, tasting, feeling the wave, you are tasting, feeling the ocean itself. But the individual wave is thinking, it's so lost in its identification with its form and name that it's and its limitations. Its limitation is the form that is unable to break the shackles of limitation and allow itself to expand. This is our lot. Therefore, we go to the temple as if God is in the temple. He is not anywhere else. And that God alone in Bhagavad Gita said, I am situated in every heart of every being. And you are looking for him in the temples. How stupid man can get. So two things. Ground Maharishi says that the individual must give up his limitations and accept himself as the consciousness. And second, he must stop considering the totality as separate to him. Totality, not totality of the world, totality of consciousness, which is Ishvara. That Ishvara is not separate. He and the Ishvara are one and the same. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan told, Manmanam bhava madbhaktaha madhyajinam namaskuru. Feel everything is happening by his will, not your will. You get out of the way. In that disposition, individual consciousness and total consciousness have become one. When we are perceiving the world. When these two conditionings are rejected, what remains is the pure consciousness, the substratum which is supporting the relativity as well as the absolute with reference to the relativity. Absolute with reference to the relativity is totality. Absolute with reference to the limitations is individuality. This is only for communication purpose. From absolute standpoint, this is all null and void. And yet, a historical fact, that absolute reality appeared as Krishna, incarnated as Krishna, And he takes all the positions. He takes the position of absolute, he takes the position of totality, he takes the position of Virat Purush, he takes the position of Hiranyagarbha, he takes the position of individual as a friend of Arjuna, and from all different positions he presents himself to Arjuna. To do what? Shabda Praman. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but Shabda Praman. He is communicating to Arjuna, hey Arjuna, you are that infinite one. Who can say this? Only who is established in that. Krishna is established in that. He has got no doubt as to what his truth is, as to what, who and what he is. And he doesn't lose that if the reference of the totality comes. He doesn't lose that if the reference of individuality comes. He doesn't lose that if Arjuna comes in front of him. He doesn't lose that if his wives come in front of him or enemies come in front of him. He doesn't lose it when he is loving his children or his wife, or on the other hand, he is killing. He never loses who he is. And on the other hand, we, at the drop of a hat, we lose ourselves. We go to sleep, we lose ourselves in dream. We go to sleep, we lose ourselves in sleep. We wake up, we lose ourselves in the waking world. But Bhagavad Gita is a Shabda Praman of by way of which the communication is being made to the seeker to arise, to awake, to abide in his own essential nature. And every aspect has been covered in Bhagavad Gita. And once the individual has become free from his limitations of nama, roop, form, inside, outside, that I was created, that I'm going to die, etc., etc., when he has freed himself from all references, all limitations, and come to abide in the consciousness that he is, that is called samadhi. And it's not necessary for you to close your eyes to be in that. You can be with the eyes open also. But the next frontier is the total consciousness. Then again a teacher is required who teaches through Shabda that this individual consciousness and that total consciousness are one and the same. Why the total consciousness is being told? Because the mind cannot think of infinity. Mind is seeing the total world. With reference to this individual body, you have come to know you are the individual consciousness. But you have not come to know the total consciousness with reference to the total world. Because you are looking outwards, the total world is there. Where did it come from? Who is maintaining it? Who is making it go round? Till these two, the total consciousness and individual consciousness, how long will you keep thinking about total consciousness? As long as you are thinking about the world, till then you will keep thinking about total consciousness as separate to you. The day it clicks that just as the dream is coming out of the dream mind, the dream consciousness, appearing in the dream consciousness and going back to the dream consciousness, and that same principle is applied here, that very moment. And what is that application? That this whole waking world is appearing in the waking consciousness, maintained in the waking consciousness, and going back to the waking consciousness. That very moment, the total consciousness and individual consciousness have become one. and you have already practiced that you are not the limitations. And then when the wave merges into the ocean, it doesn't become one with the ocean, it becomes one with the absolute waters. So when you merge into the total when you recognize that the individual and total consciousness are one, that very moment you are the absolute consciousness, infinite consciousness, pure consciousness. And there is nobody to know it because it is self knowing. It is not an objective experience. See? In this way, Shabda Praman is useful so far as the conditioned consciousness is concerned. This teaching, this Praman is not for Ishvara. It is not for the absolute consciousness. It is only for the individual consciousness. And this individual consciousness has forgotten that it is individual. It thinks it is the body, breath, mind, intellect. To this fellow, this Shabda Praman is, who considers himself to be the body, or who is considering himself only limit. Okay, I have become free from limitations. I have become free from limitations is also a limitation. Only vairagya from limitation is not enough. Because any time that limitation can again play its magic and entangle you. So, yes, you have recognized you are the individual consciousness before the limitations again have an impact on this individual consciousness. Why? Because of old habits, because of its nature. Before that happens, understand this individual consciousness is the total consciousness. In other words, the infinite one. Then there is no entanglement. Then whether the world is there or not there, it does not matter. We'll leave it here. We'll do the 4th, 5th, and 6th in our next class. Contemplate. Very deep thoughts today. I have also not thought with these pramanas in such depth before. I don't know. Every time I say I have not done, maybe I have done, I don't know. But very, very invigorating. Even while talking and contemplating on these thoughts, we are there. Be there forever. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, everyone.